Good afternoon, folks. How are you doing today? So we just surpassed the 10,000 subscriber mark. Thank you very much for all the support. It's been fun. I'm having fun every day. And one of the first things that happened after we passed the 10,000 subscriber mark is one of the OGs or the subscribers from before we got to 1,000. He actually sent me a link and said, "Hey, you might want to hit this topic again. It's a great video. It's a great concept, but yet it's only been seen 100 times." So what we're going to talk about is the rat race. We're going to talk about being in the rat race with a life sentence, meaning you can't get out. We're going to talk how come high paying jobs get stuck in the rat race. It's hard to get out. We're going to have some uncomfortable conversations. I'm going to tell you how it is, what I see, what we've done. And really, the end of this, I want you to take from this, it's not how much you make. In fact, that is a deterrent, many cases, to financial freedom and retiring early. But it's actually how much you save and then invest. But let's get into this conversation. It was something that was very powerful way back when, but let's talk about it again. So again, the concept here is a high-paying job can be, or better said, is a life sentence to the rat race. The rat race, if you're not familiar with that term, is basically you're on a hamster wheel and you can't get off. The more you make, the more you spend, got nothing left over. And it gets very tiring, very frustrating. And, too many of us are stuck on it, and frankly, stuck on it, and you don't even know. That is the biggest shame, when you're in the rat race and you don't even know. So kind of the goal of the session, we're going to talk the truth. The truth sometimes is hard to believe, but we're going to talk about it and just put it out in the open. Lots of people are going to really hate this message. This message is not going to be popular. You will have a choice. And I even think beyond a choice, you have control. You, the individual, have a choice and control. And then there's the closing slide with, hey, if you're going to do anything, at least do this. So the life sentence to the rat race. Tell me if this is you, because it was me. You go to school, some of us, a lot of school. You get a good job. You work hard. You get promoted. Then you start making some serious coin. Maybe you're in your mid-30s, early 30s, early 40s. But, the rat race is seductive. You go to school, maybe a lot of school, you get a job, you work hard, get promoted, you make a lot of money. Okay. But what happens along the way? Well, if you're like me, you buy nicer cars. You buy a nicer house. In fact, you buy nicer stuff in general: clothes, shoes, luggage, internet packages, phones. You just buy better stuff. You take better vacations. You go to fancier dinners. You buy fancier wine. Oh, by the way, you have some kids along the way and they get their nice stuff and nicer stuff. In fact, you get some extras: a third car, a boat, motorcycle, second home. Heck, you work hard, you deserve it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the rat race right there. The wheel gets bigger, the cheese gets bigger, but you never get out of the rat race. And that is exactly what I did. People forget it's not how much you make. People always forget it's not how much you make, but it's how much you keep. And more importantly, how much you keep and save to invest. If you've ever played Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow game, one of the first things you have to do is draw a profession, a job. And I must have played that game 50 to 100 times. And every time I pulled the doctor or physician card, or a lawyer card, I'm like, oh, I am going to lose. I'm going to be out of the rat race last. My expenses, my kids, all my stuff just costs more. The Millionaire Next Door. I have the book here, actually. It's one of my prized possessions now. It's autographed by one of the authors. Read this. Talk about Dr. North and Dr. South. Doctors can go broke too. Doctors and lawyers can live paycheck to paycheck. It happens. It is not and never has been what you make. Financial freedom, financial independence has never been about how much you make. If you can live on $2,000 a month, think about that. There's a lot of places in the US you can live on $2,000 a month. You can be financially free in 5 years. Everybody, 5 years. You can be financially free in 5 years if you can live on $2,000. But if you got to live on $20,000 a month, 15 years at least, if not 20, if not never. Some folks have such high monthly spend. You are on death row for financial independence. You have to keep working. That is sad. Trust me, doctors, lawyers, executives, CEOs, many of them live paycheck to paycheck. It happens. It happens. Just taking a quick note here. So, I have a question for you. Would you rather be free and live on $50K a year or broke and have to work on a $200K job? That's a serious question. A lot of you are striving to climb the corporate ladder to make that some magic income, maybe 200 grand, but you are no closer to getting out of the rat race. Your wheel just got bigger. And again, I share this with you as someone who did it himself. Dude, I was on the freaking hamster wheel. Freaking crazy. Man, I was so stupid with money in the beginning. Lots of you are going to hate this slide for sure. The hamster wheel, the rat race, it is fun. It's fun. You work hard, you get promoted, you make some money, you get a commission, you get RSUs, you get stock, you get a fancy vacation, you get a third car, you get a second home, your kids go to private school, and boom, recession. Not so fun right now. The hamster wheel, the rat race is fun. Everybody's having a good time. Unemployment's 3.5%. And then boom, a health crisis. Unemployment goes to 15, 20%. That hamster wheel does not feel fun today. And recessions are a normal part of the business cycle. I promise you, this will not be the last recession of your lifetime. So take this opportunity now to make sure you are better prepared for the next one. Here's the deal. The more often you buy nice things, the less return you get from them. I remember the first time I bought a $300 or $500 belt. It was fun. I remember it. But once you got 5, 6, 7, 10 of them in your closet, doesn't mean anything. Yeah, just doesn't. This is a big one. I talk about wants and needs all the time, but when you were talking about the rat race, understanding what you want versus what you need is critical. The smaller you make your needs every month, the smaller the wheel and the easier to get off. If your wheel is $2,000 a month, again, I will say it, everyone can get off in 5 years. You just can. If your wheel is 20K, some of you will never get off. Sorry. Some of you might take 20 years. Not horrible. But yeah, the smaller the wheel, the easier to get out. Here's the deal. You need to be thinking about what you earn, save, keep, and then invest. You should be buying assets that produce cash flow, positive cash flow, no alligators, all of that stuff. And you should stop spending money on extravagant purchases, a $10,000 vacation, a $500 bottle of wine, a $100,000 car, shoot, a $500 belt. Every time you can take one of those wants out, you can keep more and invest more. This is about easing your future cash flow, right? Stacking $200 houses, $400 houses, whatever it is for you. Financial freedom can be had in 5, 10, or for some of you, never. It all depends on your spending habits. Is your wheel 2,000 a month, 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month? Your call. You have the control. You can make choices to shrink the hamster wheel. You make the money, so you get to choose how to spend it. You get to choose how to spend it or not spend it. That's powerful. Financial freedom, retire early. It actually is financial independence, retire early is awesome. FIRE is financial independence, retire early. It's awesome. Probably achieved it at 43, but really started to appreciate it at 45 and never looked back. It is absolutely possible. Very humble beginnings. Worked at it every day. Nothing complicated. Documented the entire process in my course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time. But even if you don't do rental properties, do something that adds cash flow. Maybe it's dividend stocks. I don't know. But please realize that the hamster wheel, how much you need every month, is your choice. It takes some hard choices. And for me, it was behavior modification. I was spending every penny, whether it was a bonus check, stock options, ESPP, whatever it is. And that's just dumb. I was stupid. I was addicted to spending. As soon as I kicked that addiction, got really good at understanding need versus want, life got easier. We started reducing our monthly expenditures, kicking off a lot of cash to invest. Life was good. I can help you, but only if you want to work. This course I have, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, it's not fluff. It puts you to work in step 1, piles on the work in step 2. But the good news is I'm talking 20 minutes a day. That's all. I'm not super sophisticated. I want you to learn your market. I want you to know what a good or great deal is. I want you to know what bad and average are as well. But let's celebrate the small victories, right? The journey to financial freedom starts with a single step. Maybe it's reducing some of your expenses. Maybe it's not buying another belt, in my case. Simple decisions will set you on a better path. First and foremost, everyone should look to reduce their monthly expenses. I want everybody's hamster wheel, monthly nut, freedom number, whatever that is for you. I want to lower it 10%. If you need $2,000, I want it to be $1,800. If you need $5,000, I want it to be $4,500. Cut things out. Trust me, most of you have too many wants being satisfied. Cut them out. Again, would you rather be financially free on $2,000 a month in need or broke at $20,000 a month? It's powerful when you think about it. Another thing I think is reality is the more you make, the deeper you should cut. If you're making $30,000 a year, you don't have a lot to cut. If you're making $300,000 a year, you better cut like nut crazy, right? If you're making $30,000 a year, cutting 5% might be hard. If you make $300,000 a year, you better cut 30%. Big difference. I would like to set a goal for each of you. If you have yet to get your first rental property or cash flow property, let's set a goal of 4. If you already have 4, let's go for 10. If you have 10, let's go for the next whatever round number is, 20, 30, whatever. But let's keep moving forward. I am here to help. I produce original content on this YouTube channel every day. I wrote a book, One Rental at a Time, which you will see in a minute. It is on Amazon and Audible. And if you want to get close to me, you want to be mentored by me, you want to be part of my private Facebook group, you do need to buy my course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time. It's only $199. I'm not going to put it on sale or do anything like that. So if you want to do it, let's go. Links below. If not, no big deal. Keep watching the channel, subscribe. I appreciate all the support. And again, financial independence and retire early is awesome. But in the end, living paycheck to paycheck or a life sentence to the rat race, not okay. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Take care.